Asai, welkom terug by ons show kykers. Ja, so gewoonlik het ons die klere aan van ons gewaardeerde borg Metro Fresh wat altyd so mooi na ons kyk hier so op die show. Vandag nie hulle klere aan nie, so 'n bietjie 'n blou tema. Vertel bietjie vir ons hoekom.
Kyk, Patricia het seker gemaak, ons het seker gemaak ons support vir Patricia hierso, want is World Diabetes Day, soos ek verstaan vandag, so die kleur om vir hulle te support is blou, so ons het seker gemaak ons het blou aan, blou sokkies, blou shorty, hy's navy blue, maar julle sal dit nie kan sien nie. Dus kom ik hem ook aan het. Ik heb nooit een bril aan op de show niet. Maar omdat het nou World Diabetes Day is, toen moet ik zeker maken intro. Ik zet misschien net alles om zeker te maken. Ons wees onze support voor die mensen met diabetes.
Ja, so wat ons gasten betreft. Ons het laatste week het ons vir Ingo en vir Adel Oosthuizen gehad het. Van Ring Fighting Arts, Namibia. Die martial arts gevechtskunste. Ons het vandag iemand wat ook 'n bietjie saam met hulle werk, baie keer met Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, die stoei op die grond vir hulle kinders daarmee help byvoorbeeld. Sy naam is Nielsen Coelho, hy het ook 'n klub hierso in Windhoek, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Ons het baie met hom ook gesels. Baie interessante karakter en het ook 'n suksesvolle klub wat onlangs goed gevaar het in Suid-Afrika.
Jebo, en voor jullie vergeet, ons het ook vir Jerini hierso. Sy was al op Goeikola, ons het al haar kos gehad, maar vandag kom sy terug vir 'n redemption episode en dalk maak sy vir ons iets nuwe. Maar ek sien voor dit, die deel van die show is altyd baie exciting. Ek hoop sy disappoint ons nie, maar ek vertrou haar. Ek vertrou haar baie. So ek sien voor dit om te sien wat sy vir ons het daar by Patricia se braaihoekie.
Ja, nee, ek glo sy kan die job doen.
Kyk, kykers, vir geskakel en dis nou terug.
Kykers, ons is by Metro hier by Kleine Koepe en ons gaan bietjie inkopies doen vir vandag se episode van Goeikola. Let's go shopping. Shopping is klaar, ons gaan na die Genk Stadium toe om lekker te braai.
Are you curious as to what is driving the cars world? Well, we are bringing you into the world of cars. Tech, trends, road trips, and the stories behind the wheels. It's fun, it's fast, and it's full of surprises. This is your ultimate cars companion. You can catch My.NA Cars every Thursday at 9 p.m. with me, your favorite passenger princess, Diana Master, because it's not just about the ride, it's about the journey.
Asai, welkom by ons show kykers. Voorreg van u vandag om julle bekend te stel aan ons gas vandag. Ons sal 'n bietjie Engels met hom gesels. Nielsen Coelho. Coach, instructor, club owner in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Welcome to our show, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you grew up and how you got into the sport that you are doing.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. Okay, and well, I started let me put it this way. Started martial arts at the age of 7. Fell in love with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by the age of 24 years old. That's when I started training, and I saw this amazing martial art that does wonders, or makes it like more like a chess, like you're playing chess. It means like that you have to work a lot, think a lot, and it was amazing, my first experience. And one day I just decided I'm going to go further with this, as far as I can go. I never thought to become a coach, actually. I just wanted to have the experience of fighting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and actually getting to know the world a little bit as well. And that's how I actually started. Started martial arts because of bullying, actually. Being bullied in school, things like that, and then I decided, no, I need to do something about it. And I decided, no, I think martial arts is a good way to go. I learned how to fight. Now I don't fight. I fight in tournaments. I don't fight at all. I'll be the first one to de-escalate the situation, always. First thing. So, and about myself, I used to be a professional fighter in Jiu-Jitsu. Recently retired. Got 2 African titles. Made it to the world ranking as a 7th best fighter in the world. And then after that, due to an injury, I had to stop fighting, and that's when I decided to focus more in coaching. Coaching in the sense of not just adults, but also kids, which is my biggest passion. Right? Kids are amazing, and they follow instructions and everything. Not easy, though. It's not easy, but it's one of my biggest passions right now, to teach kids to learn martial arts, and the discipline, the courage to actually step on the mats and do this and compete and expose yourself to a point where you know Jiu-Jitsu is a one-man sport. Once you step on the mat, it's you alone. So you need to be well trained, and it takes time. But when the student and the coach have a very good understanding, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing.
Okay, so tell us a bit about your club. You have a club here in Windhoek.
Yes, I do.
You guys recently were in the news with a tour that you did to South Africa. The Namibian team doing quite well in the tournament. Just tell us a bit about that.
So I own Z1 Academy in Namibia. It's a franchise. It comes from my coach. Yes, we are a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu predominant club. We do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every day, from Monday to Saturday. Kids, adults, and everything. And recently, we were in the South African Nationals. It's called AJP. AJP stands for Abu Dhabi Jiu-Jitsu Pro. It's a tournament that the Abu Dhabi Federation organizes every year in South Africa, in Cape Town. Not only Cape Town, but Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban, and every other town in South Africa. But one of the most famous one is the South African Nationals, which every year happens in Cape Town. And this year we got the opportunity to take 19 athletes from Namibia to represent our country, to be there and actually showcase our work and what we have been training and everything. So it was a very successful tournament. We did very well. We brought 9 gold, 9 silver, 1 bronze, including we had boys and girls competing, and it was really amazing to see that our fellow Namibians, fellow athletes, are taking this to the next level, and exposing themselves, doing the work, showing how much work they put in to actually get there. The tournament was in total countries, there were 14 countries there, and we had quite a number of fights, and we came in second. Namibia came in second.
Yeah. So only South Africa won more medals than Namibia did. On that long list, on the whole list of countries that were there.
They are the majority. They were the majority in the tournament. But I believe we are getting the numbers, and they will have next time if they're going to have a challenge for that. We are going to have a big challenge.
Asai, so terwyl die helikopter oorkom, ons vat gou 'n advertensiebreek. Ons is nou weer 'n bietjie terug met ons gas vir vandag hier op Gooi Kolle.
Yes, good day viewers. Speaking is Philip Joseph. I am a regional journalist here based in Kavango East region in the heart of the riverside town that is Rundu. Yeah, I'm just here to just break it down a bit to you guys just in regards to what has happened over the weekend where I was awarded as breaking news and website post journalist of the year. It sort of came to a surprise, to be honest, because it's one of those awards that I didn't expect. But at the same time, I'm quite delighted. It's been a learning curve for me throughout my tenure here. I've been here for about 7 months, and you know, having to come here and having to adapt to the culture, to the food and everything else was really an opportunity for me to grow as a journalist. Being a junior myself, I've learned quite a lot. I've gotten the chance to work with a number of journalists who have shown me the ropes. Also through that, I've allowed myself to network with people I didn't expect myself to be in the same room with, coming down from the person that holds the highest position, that is the President, Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, all the way to the Prime Minister, as well as governors and everyone else involved. Yeah, and through that, I'd just like to give credit to everyone that has helped me, not only my family, but my fellow editors. That includes Toyvon Jebela, my regional coordinator, Jerine as well. She's been a delight to work with. And just to everyone else throughout the company, that goes down to also my other fellow colleagues who've also done an exceptional job. And to be honest, I only have about, I think, 2 months left before I leave this beautiful region. You know, I've covered both, or not both, but I've been covering 3 regions. That includes Kavango West, East, and Zambezi region, and hasn't been easy, but I believe I've managed enough to build a name for myself, and I'm just very grateful that I was awarded the opportunity to be crowned the breaking news journalist of the year. You know, there's quite a number of stories here, some good, some bad, but we continue to push. And yeah, I would just like to end my video with wishing my fellow colleague Elliot Ipinge, who will be taking over next year, all the best. It's a lovely region. All you need to do here is just work hard, do everything you need to do, listen to instructions, be passionate, let the stories guide you throughout. You know, it's a wonderful region. The view is beautiful, the river is nice, the people are lovely here, and you won't regret it. So, as they say, salute.
Well, viewers, just to let you guys know, if you guys love sports, if you guys want to know about what's happening in local sports around Namibia, be it the Brave Gladiators, the Brave Warriors, rugby, Sports Wrap is the show that will be bringing you all these updates. Sports Wrap is a local and international sports show that airs daily on DSTV. And on this show, we're bringing you updates on local sports and international sports, keeping you updated with what's happening with sports in Namibia. you will get as a huge surprise from us.
We're ready. We're ready.
Johan, I think you should be, apart from the fact that the team is here, the team is practicing, you should be proud in general of how hockey has been growing in the country, of how it's been developing in Namibia specifically. You see with the hockey teams that are now advancing to stuff like the Under-21 World Cup, where we've never been with the men before. So what are your thoughts on, before I let you leave, what are your thoughts on how hockey has been growing in the country?
Well, I'm not going to say my age. Then they might say I need to go to the old age home or something like that. And I'm still standing on the hockey field. So, yeah. Now, if I take hockey from the 60s, where I started playing hockey, so moons before that, I was just running around as a young kid in the 60s and in the 50s. I'm still not breaking the ice of what my age is. But if I take from those years and how it developed, and I mean, we were used to play Egypt, and it was double figures, you know,
Lose by double figures.
18-0 and whatever. And the last time that we played on this pitch, this same Dave and Astro, it was 3-1. It was 3-1. So something happened in the meantime.
Yeah.
My question is it maybe the pitch? Is it the coaches that became better? Is it the players? Or is it a combination with the three? I want to say it's a combination with the three and that motivation of we want to prove to the world that we can play on that platform. And that is really out of my heart. Don't mess with the Namibian. Don't. If you're looking for trouble, mess with the Namibian.
And then we'll show you.
Then we will show you. And that is why I'm so excited. Just thinking of men under 21 going to the World Cup. The first time ever that the senior men won a qualifier. Unfortunately, because of circumstances, we couldn't go to AFCON. Otherwise, I really think we could qualify there as well.
So too.
The indoor side played, men and ladies played World Cup. So somewhere along the line, hockey, field hockey and indoor hockey is doing something correct. What it is, I don't know, but we're doing something correct.
Look, I think we'll continue the something correct in India. We'll continue the something correct with the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Welkom kykers by 'n baie spesiale episode van Gooi Kolle. Saam met my is 'n gesiggie wat julle dalk kan onthou as julle lank genoeg saam met Gooi Kolle hierdie stappie gevat het. Jerine is saam met my in die kombuis vir 'n baie goeie rede. Ons breek bietjie vandag op Gooi Kolle. Jerine, kan jy net bietjie vir jouself voorstel vir ons nuwe kykers wat miskien nie kan onthou waar hulle hierdie gesiggie al gesien het nie?
Jessie, Patricia, okay, so ek het 'n bietjie ingestaan toe Anushka weg is. Hulle haar gesig sal julle seker nog onthou. Maar ja, dit is lekkerder om aan hierdie kant van die mikrofoon.
Kon nou reeds sê wanneer laas was Jerine aan die kant van die onderhoud?
Nee, ek kan nie eens onthou nie.
Wel, Jerine, jy het onlangs ons nou ons year-end function gehad. Ons het bietjie pryse uitgedeel, mense het gewen en jy het ietsie gewen by ons prysuitdeling en jaar-eindfunksie. Vertel ons bietjie, wat is dit wat Jerine gewen het of mee weggestap het?
Sjoe, nee, dit gaan nou klink soos brei.
Jerine mag brag, ons moet brag.
So, nee, ek is aangewys as die manager of the year. So, ek was baie verras toe ek my naam hoor. Maar ek weet, Michelle en Vicky, wat daar agter die tonele is, het vir my gesê, so, hoekom het jy nog nie ge-RSVP nie? En sê ek, weet jy, ons stuur alles via Telegram.
Ja.
En die uitnodiging het so vinnig gekom. Dit het ingegaan, ek het dit gesien en dit het weer uitgegaan.
Ja.
Want toe is die volgende goed weer ook daaraan, want ons werk ook met breaking news en ons is nogal baie besig met dat tipe goed. En toe kom sy vir my, hoekom het jy nie ge-RSVP nie? Okay, ek wou en toe sê die
En toe gebeur lewe.
Ja, toe sê die stelsel nee, ek kan nie meer nie, ek is nou te laat. Toe sê jy beter daar wees. En Vicky, ek kan nie vir Michelle en vir Vicky nee sê nie. So ja, maar ons het toe nou baie lekker gekuier. Dit was 'n groot verrassing. En En dit was lekker om ja, daar te wees en ook my kollegas te vier want I mean
Ja, baie pryse was uitgedeel. Mense het
Ja.
gewen daaraan.
en ons was baie trots. Ons tafeltjie van 10 het 5 toekennings gehad.
So.
Ek dink Michelle het daar so kom staan en gesê, "Jessie, julle is die wentafel en ons het ek kan regtig sê, weet jy, ons is 'n trotse oomblik." Dit was
Ek kan so
opwindend.
glo om iets te wen soos Manager of the Year. Onthou hierdie jaar het dit ek sê altyd die jaar het albei vinnig en stadig beweeg. Kyk, hier is ons amper in Desember en met alles wat die jaar gebeur het, was 'n besige jaar geweest vir alle departemente by ESP. Maar om Manager van die jaar te wen, like het Shireen enige like wise words vir ons managers out there wat miskien ook so 'n titel wil wen?
Kyk, ek moet vir jou sê, you're only as strong as your team. So, ek moet sê ek is baie trots op my spannetjie. Hulle is fantasties. En ek hulle is wonderlike mense en dit is lekker om saam met hulle te werk. En dan moet ek baie dankie sê vir Frank Stefan. Hy is my mentor en hy tutor my nou in my volgende rol wat volgende jaar begin. So, daar's nuwe dinge aan die gebeur. En daar's obviously altyd baie om te gebeur.
Ja.
Maar ek sê altyd ook vir die interns wat nou hierdie jaar begin het, 'n spannetjie waaroor ek net so trots is. Take one step at a time.
Ja, moenie
Moenie
don't go
te backstep.
ahead of yourself nie.
En vir Elliot wat volgende jaar Roendo toe trek, ek het vir hom so 'n ding gemaak wat sê don't overthink it. And while a lot of thought does need to go into a lot of things, don't overthink it, take it one step at a time. Want hulle sê mos ook, hoe eet jy 'n olifant? Een hapie op 'n slag. So
Nog
ja,
nooit thuis sê en gehoor nie, maar
regtig.
ja, eerste keer vir alles.
Wat maak ons?
Yes, ons before we get carried away, laat ons bietjie praat oor die kos wat ons vandag maak. So, ek moet nog 'n naam uitfigure, so hopefully teen die einde van die show kan ek en Shireen met iets nice opkom om dit te noem. Maar ons gaan bietjie chicken skewers, ons societies, maak met 'n lekker creamy cheesy sousbo en 'n aardappelslei aan die kant.
Patricia, my mond water al klaar.
Ja, ek weet Vrydag eet ek nie breakfast of ek pak nie 'n lunchie en ek weet ek kom gooi kole toe om dit gereed te maak. Wel, Brian het klaar vir ons gaste ook gesê hoekom ons blou aan het, maar ek gaan dit ook net weer sê want vandag gaan ook oor my.
Natuurlik. Ja.
Ons het blou aan, ek gaan dit in Engels sê want in Engels klink dit maar net bietjie it sounds prettier in English. No offense to Afrikaans sprekende mense. Dit is World Diabetes Day en ek is nou al soos 'n suikerleier vir 18 jaar. So as ons braai gaan ek bietjie tips gee aan ons mense om bietjie gesonder te eet. Ek weet ek is seker nie die model van gesond eet. Ek eet baie woelig op 'n Vrydag, maar as Vrydag ek kan mos maar bietjie
Ja, jy kan.
bietjie cheat op dit. Maar Shireen, kan ons hoender vir ons bietjie spice? Shireen is die baas van die spice vandag. So besluit maar wat sal lekker proe op 'n hoendersosate.
Baie dankie.
Hier alles is hier so vir Shireen.
Okay.
Om van te kies.
Bravo. Laat ons dan net maar sommer begin.
Yes, ek gaan ons kaas rasper vir ons sousie. Ons sous gaan ons kaas, garlic, butter en cream cheese meng in 'n pot op die vuur. En as ons klaar met ons hoender is, we're just gonna brush it over, laat alles lekker smelt en dan indulge ons.
Dit gaan heerlik wees. Ek sien verskriklik uit, Patricia.
Ek kan ook nie wag om te begin eet nie. Maar ons gaan nog gou 'n draai in die Kaap gaan maak en natuurlik by die kus terwyl ek en Shireen klaar maak met ons prepwerk voor ons skole toe gaan. So moenie beweeg nie, kykers, ons kom nou terug.
I can't even imagine that we've basically get here after 3 years. Unfortunately, I had an accident. I was in a very bad crash, 20th of September, so I will not be able to partake in the dash itself as a cyclist, but I will be part of the support crew. I was lucky enough to get a substitute that will cycle for me. The gentleman is also from Swakopmund, but we're there. We are still going strong, and we are really very grateful for our sponsors. They've really come to the party again, and they've helped us a lot to basically be able to do it again this year. We have our 4 solo members. It's the same. There's a newbie on the block. It's Brian. He's from South Africa. He was part of the 4-men last year. We have a 2-men. Miriam and Elton will take on the 2-men this year. Michelle and Etienne and Beverly and Collis. He's my substitute. They will do the 4-men. So the solos is Leicester, it's 0-man, it's Hans, and it's Brian that will do the solos this year. I can say with confidence that once the dash has been launched, which was on the 5th, then normally the people are also feeling exciting. We are also basically going in very strong towards the pledges. So I'm sure, and I know the public is behind us to basically top up what we did last year. We really appeal to the public at large, to all the citizens, to Swakopofers by Windhoek, because we have been outreach to Windhoek, the orphanage there is Hope for Life. So I really want to appeal to each and every citizen of Namibia. Every dollar can basically go a long way. Let's take this and let's move with a purpose. We have a Facebook page, All for the Babies Facebook page. The pledges is currently running on that, but they can contact any of us. The information is really, if you go on internet and you search All for the Babies, you will get everything there. But in need, you can contact me, 081-248-1604, and I will basically supply you with all the details needed. Whether it's $1, whether it's a $50, whether it's $100, you can just please keep in mind that every cent is basically put into good use by all of the orphanages that we currently support.
When the sun sets, the news begins. Welcome to Sunset News, bringing you the latest headlines, in-depth community stories, economic updates, sports highlights, and your daily weather forecast. Join us every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25, or stream us online at oneup2.com. Join us on Facebook at Sunset News to stay updated.
Ons gooi kolle hier so al die pad uit die Kaap uit. Mike, jy dan so liggroen aan en ek het nog steeds hier met die donker klere. Dit is ons gooi kolle somertyd in die Kaap. Nou gaan ons braai. Joh, dis die vure brand nou hoog. Dis nou feestyd kom nou so nader.
Ja, kyk, ek moet vir jou sê Arie, die blou van die kraai wat nou stil is. En as ek nou sê kraai, want ek dink nie ek kan hulle hane noem nie, maar die ligblou van Italië teen die ligblou van Springbokke. So ons bring die balans daarop en dis ook wat lekker is met die balans van die somer, die hoë groot vure. Vreugdevure. Iemand het eendag Jackie Lou, 'n bekende sanger, hy het gesê hy steek nie meer vuur aan nie, hy steek atmosfeer aan. Net so vir 'n atmosfeer vuurtjie. En dit kry hy natuurlik van Jan Braai wat altyd gesê het hy het 'n atmosfeer gemaak en dis wat nodig is so vir naweek, veral so in die somer.
Nee, verseker, daar's ietsie in daai vlamme, mens moet altyd maar so ekstra hoekie hê, maar net so om besig hou. Daar's ietsie in my, maak ons daai geluid, klak op die tyd so. En dit is waar ons jaloers is in die Kaap, waar Namibia dit beter het, is die vuurtjies se rookie trek so reg op daar. Hier so nou en dan is dit oostertjie wat waai, maar dan moet jy maar so effens beskut wees. Maar die feestyd wat op pad is, so ek wil praat oor die Franse rugby, net so terugkyk, en dan vorentoe is dit nou Italië wat kom in 'n naweek, maar oor dit Italië is wat kom, ons het goed gedink om hierdie keer op Kaapse kolle in Moscato Rosé. Nou Moscato, kan jy hoor in die uitspraak, hy seker maar Moscato, seker Sweeds, Italiaans, en dit is meer 'n vonkelrige wyn, wat so 'n bietjie meer borrels in hom sit, as Moscato Rosé, en dit is van De Krans. Nou De Krans is nie van die Kaap, die naby Stellenbosch en hierdie plekke nie, dit is naby Oudtshoorn en by Calitzdorp, 'n briljante wyntjie, maak 'n lekker Moscato, jy het al so met hom te doen gehad, daar's geure en goed wat uit.
Arie, hierdie is ene wat jy regtig nie. En ek weet baie mense sê, nee, jy kan nie by wyn ys en so gooi nie, maar ons is in Suid-Afrika, jy moet hom so bietjie dink ek in die yskas sit, en as hy lekker koud is met so 'n paar blokkies ys, dan tel jy daai arbeid, nasmaak. En ek moet vir jou sê, ek het al mense gekry wat vir my sê, hulle kry hierdie pink pilletjies en die candy floss tipe smaak. Kry hulle ook.
Daar is
die mooi Afrikaanse woord. So dit is 'n wyn wat jy verseker so met die wyn in die agtergrond, in die yskas, die vuur langs hom in die agtergrond en die glas in die voorgrond.
Hy drink ook amper te maklik, so mense moet hom maar mooi bestuur dat jy nie oorbedien raak nie. So dis nou die uitdaging, maar lekker. Ook die Italianers kos net so vinnig terug. Jammer Lotte Jager is nou geskort. Daai man is op sy knieë, maar hy kom aan nou ek weet nie, dit lyk vir my nou amper 100% versagting, maar die man het nou anders gedink. Maar hoe's daai? Tweede helfte met 14 man teen die Franse. Hulle wen die tweede helfte 19-3. Dis indrukwekkend.
Dis indrukwekkend, Arie, maar weet jy wat, boven die telling, boven die feit dat ons dit met 14 man gedoen het, die karakter van die span was getoets gewees. En vir iemand soos Siya Kolisi, wat geweldig aansien in die wêreld het, dit spreek boekdele van die sinergie, die verhouding, die groter deel van die Springbokke, waar iemand soos Siya Kolisi sal sê, is reg, op 'n 100ste wedstryd, ek gaan af, want dit gaan oor die span. En ek dink, dit is op die stadium een van die sterkste punte, behalwe dit wat hulle kan vermag op die veld, en ek dink dis hoekom hulle dit kan vermag op die veld, is dit wat aangaan van die veld af. Hierdie sinergie tussen die spelers, en hulle verstaan die hoekom. En ek dink die wêreld is besig om notisie te vat en te besef dat op die stadium is ons op 'n baie goeie plek, en ons weet hoe vinnig dit kan verander. Met 'n kaart hier, 'n kaart daar, is dinge baie moeilik vir jou. Maar ek dink die groter prentjie van die Springbokke, die bestuur, die spelers en die rede, dis die hoekom ek dink ons besig is om te kry wat ons kry.
Absoluut, en dis indrukwekkend, en Siya Kolisi het nie daar in die hoekie gaan sit en sê, maar nou so kwaad dat ek nie speel nie. Hy staan omtrent op die kantlyn en hy skree op die manne. So dit is baie indrukwekkend. So nou komende naweek, nou ons het in Moscato en ons gaan Italiaans gaan ons nou hier bietjie inwerk hier. Maar dis al krediet wat ons nou in die korttermyn gaan gee. Maar die Springbok moet oppas. Daai manne het vir Australië geklop, so dit gaan nie stil musiek wees nie. Hulle sal met hard speel om vir Italië te klop.
Ja, ek dink dit is wat Italië so gevaarlike span maak, is hulle is onvoorspelbaar op die dag. Italië se losvoorspelers is baie fisiek, ook baie groot, baie vinnig, maar hulle sit met X-faktor spelers in hulle agterlyn, en ek dink daar's 'n besig om 'n selfvertroue by die Italianers gekweek te word, wat hulle voel, weet jy wat, maar ons kan hierdie sogenaamde upsets, wat almal van praat, meer gereeld begin bewerkstellig. So Italië is en sal altyd 'n span wees wat besig is om baie vinnig opspraak te maak, maar ook 'n baie groot piesingskil vir jou kan wees.
Absoluut, ons moet versigtig wees vir hom. Natuurlik Ierland volgende naweek, maar ons wil nog daaroor praat. Maar ons is intussen gemotiveerd. So ons kombinasie is nou koue wyn en warm vuur. Dis ons span, dis ons gameplan.
Dit is verseker die gameplan. Ek dink wat 'n ou lekker het met hierdie is om 'n staanrib te laat staan, om te laat wag terwyl die wyn optimale koue bereik. En teen daai tyd is die staanrib ook min of meer amper reg, dink ek.
So, moet ons wag tot Saterdag. Ons kan nou begin. Maar ons het lekker kolle gegooi hier die Kaap uit en lekker vooruitsig van al die sport op die komende naweek en nou ons groet. Ons praat hier volgende week. Bye bye.
If you guys want to know what Athletes World is all about, you guys will definitely have to tune in for the episodes to see what goes on Athletes World. We will, just to give you guys an insight on what Athletes World is about, it's a show that dives deeper into the life of athletes, is finding out what they are all about, and they get to tell us what their favorite foods are, what their greatest moments are, and what their worst moments are in sports as well. So you guys tune into the episode. It also plays every Wednesday on DSTV. Here is where you find out more about athletes, and not just athletes, but also the unsung heroes.
Okay, kijkers, het is lekker loud hier so. Ek dink they're doing some practice run with planes or something, maar dit is lekker loud maar die weer speel saam vandag, Jereen.
Ja, nee wat. Ons is reg om te braai. Elke dag is braaidag, soos wat my man sou sê.
Presies, ek stem saam. Nou ons saties is lekker gebraai. Het ons die tang nodig?
Ek dink nie ons het op die oomblik nie. Ek dink ons vingertjies is sterk genoeg om hierdie te hanteer.
Te sit, yes.
En die kolle is lekker warm. Jy hoor sommer hoe lekker sizzle dit.
Yes, dit sizzle. Okay, ek sien uit vir die sous. Ek is baie opgewonde om te sien hoe dit uitdraai.
Ek wil amper myself verstout om te sê ek proe dit al in my mond.
Okay.
Dis sy.
Dis sy.
Patricia, hoe lank moet ons hierdie oudjies braai?
Ek dink dat is ons nou chicken breast en ons het dit nou mooi opgesny, so dit gaan nie so lank vat nie.
Okay.
Ek dink ons gee hom so tot hy lekker bruin is en dan kan ons die dikste stukkie net so bietjie poke en kyk of hy. Weet ek is nie 'n expert braaier nie. I might look like one, maar I'm also just going with the flow. So. Maar Jereen, ek was nou in charge om vandag se resep te kies wat ons op die kolle kan gooi. Maar as ons vir Jereen nou vroeër gevra het in die week, wat wil Jereen braai vandag? Wat sou op ons kolle gewees?
Jessie, ek het nou die dag nogal daaraan gedink. So ek het van die shows wat ons vroeër gedoen het, is daar 'n Jan braai resep met suurroom en knoffel. En jy spice hom, you will love it, want hy is lekker geurig. So wat dit interessant maak, ek het dit ook vroeër gemaak met Brian hulle. Jy sit geen speserye op jou hoender nie. Niks nie.
Okay.
Dan braai jy dit lekker
Okay.
totdat hy 2 minute van gaar is. En dan sit jy hierdie spice mixture op wat ook 'n bietjie van jou spicy goed het. Weet jy, die geurige goed.
Okay, ek love it.
En dan sit jy dit weer op en jy hoor eintlik hoe knars hy en krak hy en dit is so lekker. En dan sodra hy klaar is, dan gooi jy daai knoffel en Dijon mosterd en suurroomsous oor. Magic.
Dit
Magic.
klink vir my baie lekker. Dit lyk my ons sosaties
Kom mooi. Hulle kom mooi hierso aan.
my vingertjies vinnig
Dit maak nie soos die man. Kyk, jy moet altyd jou oor druk as hy te warm raak, né? Dit vat die brand weg.
Dit werk. Ek het 'n triek geleer by
Oeh,
Jereen.
okay, hierdie ouetjie wil nie so lekker. There we go.
Vinnig vir die oor neersit. Dit werk. Ons het iets geleer vandag as jou vingertjies brand, veral vir ons dames wat ons roosterbroodjies so lekker met die hande nog kan draai en gryp met jou oortjies en dan is alles fyn. Wel, soos ek beloof het, gaan ek bietjie saam met julle deel net some basic health tips. We're not the expert once again, maar die een ding wat ek dink, whether you're diabetic or not, die eerste tip wat ek vir julle kan gee is water is your friend. Water is jou beste vriend in enige omstandighede. Stay hydrated. Nie dat ek heel droog raak nie. Water has saved me in so many situations, maar definitief water is jou vriend. Dis hoekom ons op Gooi Kolle altyd seker maak hier's water en hier's sappietjies vir almal dat niemand kan omkap nie. Ons is altyd
Ja, veral as dit so warm is, né?
Nee, somer is hier. Ons is hier. Ons kan voel dit is nog bietjie reënerig. Jy sien die wolkies is bietjie donker, maar dit is daar. Ons voel hom.
Jy voel dit.
Okay. But Jereen, how confident are you in today's recipe?
I am so looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. En soos jy sê, dit gaan ook 'n lekker vulseltjie wees vir die ons ma wat al hier so grom. Ek hoop die mikrofone tel dit nie op nie.
Ja, ek hoop ook nie so nie. Nou Jereen, op die einde van die dag bly Gooi Kolle se nommer 1 sport nog altyd rugby. En soos ons kykers weet, ons bakkie boetjies 100%, hulle bly ons nommer 1 span. Maar as Jereen nou 'n span in nommer 2 kan sit, groot of klein, onthou die antwoord wat Jereen vir my gaan gee, gaan bepaal of hierdie resep regtig gaan so gierig en lekker uitkom wat ons dink dit sal en hoop dit sal. Maar kom ons hoor wat sê Jereen, wat se rugby span kom tweede?
Ek moet sê, ek hou nogal van die Kiwis.
Okay.
Why? Want as hulle die hakka doen, dan is dit hoendervleis oomblikke. Ek het al die voorreg gehad om hulle in Kaapstad te sien en om dit te beleef dit is eintlik ja, mense kry hoendervleis van kop tot tone. Dit is 'n ongelooflike ding. So ek sou definitief sê ek weet hulle doen op die oomblik nie heeltemal so goed nie. Die ure is nou beter as ek dit nie het nie. Maar ja, ek moet sê dit is nou nogal vir my ongelooflik en net die passie wat alles in die hake aangaan. So ek worry nie oor die rugby nie. Dit gaan vir my oor die hake, ja.
Dis eintlik die verkeerde antwoord.
Ek is jammer, wat wou jy hoor?
Ons is springbokke of jy ken.
Nee,
hulle geniet heeltemal te veel aandag. Alhoewel ek moet sê Erasmus weet nogal wat hy doen en dit is baie interessant om te sien wat het hy volgende in die mou, want dit is altyd 'n verrassing.
Ja,
ek moet sê dit is nou nogal vir my verrassend om te sien. Ek is glad nie 'n groot rugby kyker nie, so eintlik moet jy vir my glad nie daaroor vra nie.
Wel, Jereen, net omdat Jereen manager van die jaar gewen het, dink ek hierdie resep sal 100% uitkom. Al was die antwoord die
wat jy gesoek het, nee?
Ja, maar ek dink die manager van die jaar het gaan ons rescue dat alles 100 gaan uitkom.
Kyk, by my gaan dit oor skryf, nee. En nie sport skryf nie.
Ja, daai is ons expertise nie. Dit is meer Brian en Andrew se afdeling.
Ja nee, hulle is die sportoutjies, ons is hier so vir mooi lyk.
Presies, dit is to look cute en om lekker kos te eet. Wel, kykers, ons nog ons sous ook maak, maar voor ons gaan, aangesien dit World Diabetes Day is, wil ek net aan ons diabetes en die families wat ons diabetes ondersteun. Ek het 'n science fair projek gedoen in graad 5 en ek het hom bietjie getrek oor die jare. Elke jaar dieselfde ding gedoen because I didn't om eerlik te wees, ek was bietjie lui om iets anders te doen.
Nou sê jy dit op nasionale televisie?
Wel, ek het dit dan 'n bietjie geïmprove elke jaar. It's not the exact same thing. Maar die projek was nou in Engels. Ek gaan vir julle sê it was that can diabetics live normal lives? So ons weet mos nou diabetes is a lifestyle condition. I don't like calling it a disease or illness.
It's a condition.
It's a condition. It affects your lifestyle. En dit is moontlik vir enige diabetes om 'n normale alledagse lewe te hê. Jou suiker, jou medikasie hoef niks oor te vat nie. Jy kan jou lewe aanvat net soos dit is, veral as jy 'n span het wat jou ondersteun, soos my Gooi Kolle span wat my vandag ondersteun, dan is jy 100% uitgesorteer. So daai is my helftip. Kry vir jou 'n span wat jou ondersteun en weet dat dit bepaal nie jou hele lewe net omdat jy diabetes het. Maar Jereen, ons hoendertjies begin kry kleur. Dis wat
ja.
ons doen. So ons gaan ons sous maak bietjie off screen, ons sal verduidelik wat ons gedoen het en dan is ons nou terug kykers.
So, soos julle weet, die is Basies Amber, my gunsteling deel van die show. Ons doen goed bietjie anders vandag en soos Patricia gesê het ons blou aan. En die blou, dit seker gemaak. Julle kan kyk, die shorty, sokkies, alles is blou. Net in support van mense met diabetes is World Diabetes Day vandag en ons maak seker ons stuur die liefde vir die mense wat diabetes het, dus kom ons blou aan net vandag. But back to the conversation that we were having, that you and Andrew were also having. You told me a bit of, behind the screens, you were telling me a bit about Brazil and how Brazil is. I'm very excited to go to Brazil.
You should go.
I'm very excited to go. But tell me a bit more about how your journey, what inspired the love for the sport of just fighting? Is it a thing of, in most cases, it's a thing of, we use it for self-defense, we just want to learn, we love the sport. What was your reason behind getting involved with all these fighting techniques and styles?
Well, mainly was because I was being bullied at school. Okay, I'm not a big fellow. I'm short, so I was always the shortest in class. So, and little colleagues, they see the little guy, they're like, oh,
everyone wants to pick up the little guy.
There you give your food. So, to avoid that, I started training. I went for karate classes, and when I got there, I actually went to the class against my parents' will.
Ooh, they
behind their back.
They didn't support you.
They didn't support any of it.
Okay.
And so I had to make up for extra classes. So I was like, no, I have extra classes today. And I go for the karate classes.
Yeah.
Funny enough, after starting karate, and the kids at school started finding out. With 3 months of karate, my coach put me in competition already. He said, no, you're going to go there. You're going to compete.
To compete, and your plan was just to like learn the few things.
I got beaten up.
That's now 3 months after you started.
3 months after I started.
Your plan was not to even compete. You just wanted to.
I just
pick
wanted
up
to learn
some skills
self-defense.
to defend yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after that, I said, I have to go back.
Because
I have to go win. this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know? And I decided, I'm going to continue training. The whole focus of self-defense changed into competition. I didn't, look, funny enough, I didn't have to use anything at school because the kids started finding out, he does karate. He competes. Oh, wow.
No one wants
Instantly,
no one
the
wants
bully
to touch
stopped.
you anymore, yeah.
Instantly, the bully stopped. And things like that. And then, but my love for competition in martial arts started growing and growing and growing. And then later on, traveled to Brazil. Obviously, went to learn capoeira.
Capoeira is the one with the
Paranauê.
That's a very
all the backflips and
beating you at the same time.
Those capoeira is it's a martial art, but you never see it how you can actually use those movements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's very hidden. It's very what the world knows about capoeira is not what happens inside the dojo. It's not. Okay. It's a very competitive martial art. So I decided I fell in love with it because we sing in capoeira. We have drums, tambourines,
Rhythm,
so there's a lot of rhythm there, and you learn how to dance samba.
Ooh, so there's a cherry on top of the cake.
Yes, there is a cherry on top of the cake.
That's a bonus, yeah.
So, who doesn't want to learn samba?
Who doesn't want to learn?
You
I
know?
need to learn how to. Before I go to Brazil, I need to learn how to dance samba because the way you guys do it, it's so majestic.
Yeah,
it's so nice to see.
and so coming back, so eventually my parents came to Namibia, and then I decided to stay.
Oh,
I came for schooling, and then after schooling, I didn't want to leave because all my friends were here.
Yeah.
All my life was here, so I decided, no, I'll stay. But I'll stay. By all these years, I kept doing martial arts. Study, school, but martial arts all the time. Around 2009. I went back to Brazil.
Oopsie.
I went back to Brazil for the Capoeira World Championship.
Okay.
So
2009 now.
2009.
Yeah.
I went there against my parents' will again. Oh, they're gonna find out. They will find out about this, guys. Ooh,
giving the parents stress. Yeah.
I did pretty well. Came out in first place. And someone from the tournament invited me for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class.
Okay.
They somehow told me like I would be very great in Jiu-Jitsu.
Based on what they saw now, you were doing.
Based on what they saw and things like that and what. And in between I was doing other martial arts like Muay Thai, kickboxing, Taekwondo. I tried a lot of things.
You really did.
But the day I went to that dojo for Jiu-Jitsu class.
The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now.
Yes, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. I felt in love. I got folded by a 16-year-old girl. Like literally. You see my clothes? I'm still wearing them. She folded my clothes while I'm in them. Like, guy.
Well, I think we go for a short break. And then we tell the viewers more about the story of how a 16-year-old...
Let them laugh a little bit.
How the 16-year-old folded you a little bit. So think about that, let it marinate. We're getting to the best part of the show for me personally, where the food is almost ready. En dan gesels ons bietjie meer en ons sien vooruit vir 'n groot naweek. So bly geskakel en ons is nou terug by julle. Well, viewers, just to let you guys know, if you guys love sports, if you guys want to know about what's happening in local sports around Namibia, be it the Brave Gladiators, the Brave Warriors, rugby, Sports Wrap is the show that will be bringing you all these updates. Sports Wrap is a local and international sports show that airs daily on DSTV. And on this show, we're bringing you updates on local sports and international sports, keeping you updated with what's happening with sports in Namibia. En kykers, soos julle weet, hierdie is nou my gunsteling deel van die show, waar die kos nou klaar gemaak is. Patricia en Jerine het vir ons die kos klaar gebring. Jerine, vertel ons net bietjie, ek hou nog die bril vir, ek is baie honger. Vertel ons net bietjie, wat alles het julle vir ons gemaak en...
Wel Brian, anders as wat jy gesê het in die intro, we're going to surprise you and you're going to love it. So dit is chicken skewers, cube chicken, lekker in blokkies gesny, baie ligtelik gespice.
Okay.
Die hele magic is eintlik in Patricia se sousie. Dit is 'n kaassous en dit gaan creamy cheese sauce. It's going to be divine. En ons gaan dit in ons resepteboek sit ook.
Okay, ek dink sodra dat cheese sauce is I'm sold.
So dis 'n goeie produk omdat die goeie ingredients was van Metro Fresh af, of is dit Jerine se skills geweest?
Dit was certainly Patricia se skills, maar Metro Fresh se bestanddele was definitief die cherry op die koek.
Ek dink ek nodig 'n bord vir hierdie nie. Nodig ons borde? Soek iemand 'n bord?
As jy aardappelslaai wil hê, ja.
O ja, okay. Ek het vergeet van aardappelslaai. Ek sien net die skewers of die sosaties en toe kan ek asseblief een kry. So this is now my favorite time of the show. This is the part of the show that determines whether Patricia has come through for us.
Delicious.
Yes, otherwise is it extra? Oh, wow.
Extra vir braai.
Okay, moet ek opgooi of okay.
Yeah, so Nielsen, you were telling us about this girl that you met that changed your life. 16-year-old girl. Just tell them the story.
Really?
The story as well.
As dit so gestel word.
Well, it's let's say it's a very inspiring story because she made me stay in jiu-jitsu. So I find out, how did she do that to me? So because she folded me, like I was saying, like nothing, like I am a man, she is a child. How can a person do that to a grown man?
Yeah.
So I decided, no, I'm going to stay and, learn and see how it works. Eventually today, I am a first degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's a 3rd degree black belt.
So you still won't mess with her?
She, 2021, that was the last time I actually competed, and she actually came to South Africa in Cape Town, and we met there. After years, it was amazing, and she told me, I can still kick you. Like, what do I do? Call me boss now, because I'm a black belt, but you're still underneath. But it was very inspiring. Honestly, it was very good. I really thank her for the experience and things like that, and we became very good friends. And that was my life changer. I just wanted to find out more and more about the martial art, and then I fell in love with it. Later on, I saw myself started competing and going here, going there, traveling here, traveling there, and then I never thought I could make it to black belt, but
here you are.
I made it actually because a lot of injuries come along.
Well, here's to that 2nd black belt.
Okay, Michelle het gesê, hierdie is die Kiwi Delight. Kiwi Delight.
You see, Patricia was judging me because I said the Kiwis were my team. That's okay.
So, kykers, weer eens 'n ander wonderlike episode van Gooi Kolle. Ons sien julle volgende week, selfde tyd, selfde plek. Ons gooi kolle.
Goeie
Goeie
kolle.
kolle.